Progress continues to be made on the Reimagine Victoriaville project. Good evening, I'm Haley Perot. Thank you for joining us. The long-awaited demolition is nearly 50% complete, with crews currently working on taking down the roof at Victoriaville Centre. City officials estimate there's about 6 weeks of teardown remaining before they move on to the groundwork before winter. Jessica Clement has the details.
The demolition of Victoriaville is well underway, and area residents can now start to picture what Victoria Avenue will look like once the revitalization project is finished. The full project will see the street reopened to motorists, with added bike lanes, widened sidewalks, and parking on the south side of Victoria Avenue. Capital Facilities Construction Manager Kelvin Jankowski says demolition crews are making good progress.
They're looking at about 5 to 6 weeks until they'll be fully complete demolition, which is about a week or so behind the initial projections. So run into a few things here and there, but for the most part it's been going well. The subcontractor is a seasoned demolition expert, so they have specialized demolition equipment. They know how to remove this stuff safely, so we're fairly confident that we'll continue along this line for the next 5 to 6 weeks.
Jankowski estimates the demolition work is about 50% done. Crews are currently working on removing the skywalk and the higher sections of the roof. Once the structure is demolished, Jankowski says they'll start doing some groundwork.
Some removals, some more demolition to make sure there's proper drainage for the winter, but the roadwork itself and the underlying services won't commence likely until spring next year.
There are still numerous businesses open around the demolition area, including Sweet Cherry Spa. Owner Scotia Copey's window is right next to where the deconstruction is taking place, and she says luckily the work hasn't affected her business too much.
Just gets a little loud sometimes, but within a working day, like they have to take breaks and stuff too, so they kind of make a lot of noise for maybe an hour and a bit, and then they go for a smoke break or something. Then it's quiet for a little bit, so it's on and off. It's not just like constant, which is nice.
Copey notes that she and other area business owners are excited for the South Core revitalization project.
I'm very happy and excited to have garden boxes and be able to see people and maybe not have to take so much vitamin D pills in the wintertime when I don't go to work in the dark and leave in the dark. So,
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
A large Navy ship is coming to Thunder Bay later this month. Officials from HMCS Griffin announced today that the offshore patrol ship, the Margaret Brooke, will visit the city for 4 days starting on September 18th. The 103-meter-long vessel was recently in Antarctica and is now headed to the Great Lakes. It's primarily designed for the patrol and support of Canada's Arctic regions. The last time the Canadian Navy sent one of its larger ships to Thunder Bay was in 2012. Thousands of people came out to see the Ville de Quebec frigate when it made a 5-day visit at the Pool 6 dock. Officials at the Griffin expect similar large crowds to come on board the Margaret Brooke, check out the inside of the vessel, and meet the crew.
This is a deployment where she'll be visiting various ports around the Great Lakes and connecting with Canadians. So her main mission is to get out there, show Canadians what we do in the Navy and what we have. And so she's coming here, and we're going to be the first visit on her deployment around the Great Lakes. So we're happy to be and excited to be the first port that she gets to come to, and we're going to show her a great time.
So the ship will be coming in on the 18th in the morning. We'll be doing a welcoming ceremony with local leaders in the afternoon. And then on the Friday, we're going to be having, we've invited all the local high schools and regional high schools to come down and attend the Marine Career Fair as well as tour the ship. And then the tours for the public will be open on the Saturday and Sunday. We encourage everyone to park at the auditorium and start catching buses from there to be shuttled over just because of limited parking spaces at the marina from 10:30 to 5 p.m., both Saturday and Sunday.
The Margaret Brooke will be moored at the Pool 6 dock when it arrives in 2 weeks. 3 people from Southern Ontario have been arrested by Thunder Bay OPP following a traffic stop in Shunya that turned into a significant drug bust. It happened on Tuesday afternoon after police stopped a vehicle on Highway 1117. With help from the K-9 unit and the Street Crime Unit, officers located nearly half a kilogram of cocaine and around $3,000 in cash. 3 men aged 20, 34, and 41 from London, Mississauga, and North York are all facing drug and weapons-related charges, along with possession of property obtained by a crime. 2 of the suspects remain in custody, while the other was released pending future court dates. The town of Marathon is racing against time to replace its aging arena and shuttered pool with a new $83 million active living center. Mayor Rick Dumas says the project is shovel-ready, but construction depends on securing provincial and federal funding. Justin Hardy reports.
This is a very important project for our community, our region, and for the GDP of Canada and Ontario for that matter.
Marathon Mayor Rick Dumas says construction of a new active living center can begin as soon as funding is secured. He adds that the project is urgent because the refrigeration system for the town's arena only has 2 or 3 years left, and the community already lost its indoor pool in 2023.
And when we had to make that announcement, like that was really one of my worst announcements I think I had to make, other than the mill closing in 2009, is to shut down our pool, because it really impacted the whole community in the region, and that is devastating. And since then, I mean, obviously now we have to recognize the fact that our arena could potentially be out of commission in as little as 3 years. And you know, as a small northern community, we have an ability to borrow, and we're going to go to the limit of that ability to borrow.
2 nearby First Nations have contributed $1.5 million toward the project. Dumas says the new center would be the hub of community health and well-being, and he's calling on higher levels of government to back the project so construction can start immediately. A main contractor has been found to construct the center at a cost of $83 million.
They're ready to go. They'll move and demobilize as soon as we get an announcement. Any commitment, we don't need the money. Here's the thing with government, we've made it very clear. We don't need the money. We need the money over a 2 to 3 year period. So it could be over a 2 or 3 year budget years for federal and provincial governments, because once we get the documents signed, sealed, and delivered saying, yes, Marathon, you're going to get this money from the provincial and federal government, we go to the bank. We've had discussions with the Investment Ontario Bank already.
Funding requests have been presented to both provincial and federal officials, with decisions expected in the coming months. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
After 4 decades of helping customers create outdoor adventures, a long-standing local business will soon close its doors. Gear Up for Outdoors owners John and Sandra Wynn are retiring and moving on to their next adventure in life. Gear Up was one of the first outdoor goods retailers in the area and one of the first online companies in the Northwest, selling everything from outdoor clothing and footwear to equipment. Starting today, the store is having a retirement sale, and the shelves won't be full of stock for long. The store was packed today with area residents already taking advantage of the sales. The 7,000 square foot building on Alloy Place has been sold. However, the Wynns weren't able to find a buyer for the business. They want to thank the community for all the support over the years.
It's very emotional for both of us there, but you know, we're in our 60s and we have a new life ahead, so we thought time to move on.
We did try to sell it for about 3 years, and it's heartbreaking that nobody would pick it up and run it, because it's basically a turnkey. But you know, it is what it is, and we didn't want to do it anymore. So if your heart's not in it, it's time to go.
With the discounts increasing every 2 weeks, the Wynns hope to completely close the doors by November 15th. In the lead up to Saturday's Wake the Giant Music Festival, DFC High School held its annual Amazing Race event today. It's meant to help students get to know their new city and understand how to use Thunder Bay Transit. Jaden Billick has this story.
Known as one of the biggest orientation events in the country, Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School students from the remote communities participated in the annual Amazing Race tradition to explore Thunder Bay and a number of key locations under teacher supervision. Transition coordinator Matthew Tilbury explains what the day is all about.
They're currently visiting stops. They kind of have free range of which route they want to take. So we have stops such as Roots Community Garden, a Cinema 5 skate park. We have the new youth hub, and then Marina Park for lunch here. They get to meet their fellow students, and they get to visit places around town that we want them to know about.
Tilbury says it's a priority to familiarize these 150 students with the public transit system, as it's their primary way of navigating around town. Most of the students here are new to the bigger city life, including Korea Kakapitam from Sandy Lake, who's already learning some good places to spend her free time.
Oh, I was just at the indoor skate park, just close by McDonald's in Cumberland, I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do they have for you?
We actually got these free passes. free day pass so we could, yeah. I've had good experiences, no bad, and it's pretty fun. If you engage with people, then yeah, it's actually a positive experience if you're making it positive.
Caden Skunk from Mishki-Gogamang First Nation has been in the city for about 2 weeks now and admits that it's been a little scary being away from home, but he's excited for the school year at DFC. He even shared his favorite stop of the day.
Probably the mall. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's probably one of the most important locations here in Thunder Bay.
Yeah. Feels great. You know, also scary being away from home, but with my boarding family, it's great. A lot of sports, you know, a lot of learning.
Yeah, so it's a huge leap, right? Some of these communities are very small, fly-in only, and some of them it's their first time living in a bigger city. So we just want to make sure that they're safe, they're supported, and they feel like this is their home away from home while they're pursuing their education.
Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Great to see those students getting out around town. Now, it wasn't the brightest day for them outside today, but at least they weren't too hot when they were racing.
No, they certainly weren't, not with the temperatures that we had across the region and here in the city. It had a little bit of rain, but not a ton. Most of it was overnight. Throughout the day, it's just been the threat of rain. But we've got this second wave that is heading towards us. So far, it's trending towards the south of Thunder Bay and the region, but you know, it is a rather large system, and that is definitely going to continue to be a risk. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, after a low of 4, we topped out with a high of 10, so not quite as warm as we were hoping to make it for the students as they went about town. But mostly cloudy, and as I said, there was a brief afternoon rain shower. A little gusty, though, at times. For the most part, west-northwest, primarily westerly winds, 16 up to 45 kilometers an hour, so a little bit gusty for much of the afternoon. If we take a look at what's going on in other parts of the region, Fort Frances also topping out at 10 after an overnight low of -1. Yes, they actually had a wind chill to record, a wind chill of just -2, but still a wind chill under cloudy skies. As you head up into Red Lake, they're currently at 9. They too topped out at 10, and they've had mostly cloudy skies. As you head further east, though, this is where the extreme cool conditions have been felt. Just north of Lake Superior, Armstrong currently at their high of 6 after an overnight low of about 2. Greenstone is at their high of 4, and they had an overnight low of 1. So not much movement in temperatures from the night to the day, and they've had light rain for much of it. Now, along the North Shore, a little bit warmer, but not much. Sault Ste. Marie enjoying 14 Celsius, and it was mostly cloudy much of the day, and then just in the last couple of hours, it started to rain. In fact, at 4 o'clock, they were noting heavy rain in the region. Right now, just a bit of a rain shower. And here in the city of Thunder Bay, it's going to be very similar to last night. A low of 4 once again, and a 40% chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies, and winds will taper off a little bit, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour from the west. So we've got a ways to go before we hit that seasonal high of about 1920. Yeah. Going to take a little time. Tomorrow is still looking to be a bit chilly, but the weekend does start to see improvements. So we're going to keep focusing on the positives as we head towards the weekend and enjoy things as they come.
Awesome. Thank you, Fiona. I will be wearing my slippers in the meantime.